The Big Ten quarterback position has been down in recent years, meaning 15 or 20 years. According to the NFL draft, no first-round selections between Kerry Collins and Dwayne Haskins. But then again, at the same time, a couple guys by the name of Brady and Breeze, I think they've done quite well for themselves. Talking Big Ten quarterbacks 2020 here at MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. Like the videos, please. It helps the algorithms, according to YouTube. Like the videos. Help us out. We need your help to build the channel and to do what we do best each and every day. That's analyze the sport that we all love. Best discussion, debate, and analysis right here. Top 5 Big Ten quarterbacks. And, of course, you got to subscribe. Therefore, you know when we're going live with our call-in shows and also our other live streams. Big Ten quarterbacks, here we go. Top 5, Sean Clifford, Penn State. 23 touchdowns, 7 picks, ran for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. The 59% completion percentage against especially the top teams he faced, that is a point of improvement. Big kid, strong arm, could make all the throws. Definitely an upgrade in terms of arm talent from Trace McSorley. But in terms of a gamer, that has yet to be seen. He seems to have the leadership and have the will. Again, it's decision-making and it's accuracy. He's got the NFL build there back in the pocket as well. But the suspect games included 12 for 24 at Iowa, included 23 of 43 with 3 picks at Minnesota, and also the Ohio State game when he only threw for 71 yards on 10 for 17. The Indiana win, the Pitt win by Penn State were probably closer than they should have been at home. And much of that had to do with Clifford missing some opportunities, 11 of 23 against the Hoosiers, 14 of 30 against the Panthers. And again, in today's college football, kids are completing 65% of their passes pretty much as a, not necessarily a norm, but a top 30 to 40 quarterback. Good game against Michigan with 3 touchdown passes, 14 of 25. And Memphis, he was probably to a certain extent taken out of the game because the Penn State rushing attack should again be one of the better ones in the nation. Journey Brown went off against the Tigers in the Cotton Bowl. Clifford could kick back and still score 55 points on the strength of 11 of 20 passing. He's number 5 in the Big Ten. Understand that we're basing this on track record, but also my projection on progress, on ability, on ceiling moving forward. I don't base it on a projection of statistics. Yes, the better quarterbacks in regards to also the supporting cast, the offensive line, and so forth, will have the better statistics. But I'm not projecting statistics. These are truly the top 5 quarterbacks, in my opinion, in the Big Ten. At number 4, a disappointment from 2019. Of course, we're talking Nebraska's Adrian Martinez, 65% completion percentage, 25 total touchdowns in 2018. And then considering Scott Frost's development of UCF quarterbacks, the playmakers he has on the outside, he was supposed to do all sorts of great things in 2019. After a 7-touchdown, 2-interception start, in his final 6 games of the season, Adrian Martinez only threw for 3 touchdowns and 6 picks. He has to get better, and even his running was not necessarily dynamic. But Adrian Martinez at number 4 in the Big Ten. Our number 3 quarterback is maybe the antithesis of Adrian Martinez when it comes to skill set and also potential to a certain extent, at least at the collegiate level. Tanner Morgan, Minnesota. Not a highly rated prospect, but finished 4th in the nation in passer rating, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks, 66% completion percentage. Does have 3 offensive linemen back, Rashad Bateman as well. Again, I'm not factoring that into the mix, just letting you know that he could be in store for another big year. Did not really have a bad game and is not a rushing threat. So I take that into consideration as well. It's not just these players as a passer. It's as a complete quarterback. Leader, gamer, in the clutch, arm talent, rushing ability. I'm not taking the offense into consideration again or the statistics. 18 of 20 against Penn State in that huge Minnesota win, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns against a very good Penn State defense. We go to Indiana. This probably doesn't happen very often, not certainly since the likes of a Trent Green in particular. Our number 2 quarterback in the conference, Michael Penix, 69% completion percentage. Beat out Peyton Ramsey, forced him into the transfer portal. Also, Jack Tuttle, the Utah transfer, a 4-star, but Penix completed 69% of his passes as a redshirt freshman. 10 touchdowns, 4 picks in 6 games, 700 yards passing. Big game against Michigan State, almost led the Hoosiers to an upset on the road, 33 of 42, 3 touchdowns. Had right sternoclavicular injury and surgery in November. We hope that he's back and ready to roll. Michael Penix at number 2. And the obvious selection is Justin Fields as the best quarterback in the Big Ten, possibly the nation. The Ohio State Buckeye did not win the job at Georgia. Maybe he should have. Maybe Jake Fromm legitimately beat him out. The rest is history. He moves from Georgia as the number 1 rated quarterback in the nation, along with Trevor Lawrence at the time, to Ohio State. He goes 4 for 13 in the spring game. People were shaking their heads saying, panicking, Buckeye fans panicking. What's wrong with this kid? He's overrated. Yeah, see, he never threw the ball in the SEC. He was a novelty quarterback. He can only run. No, he can sling it. 41 touchdowns, 3 picks, 67% completion percentage. He ran for almost 500 yards and 10 touchdowns. And consider, he was injured against Wisconsin that compromised him the rest of the year. And that was the first Wisconsin game in Week 8. He took on the top teams in the Big Ten down the stretch, Clemson also, and without J.K. Dobbins in the second half, in terms of a healthy J.K. Dobbins, he became a pocket passer against Clemson. Still had a big game in regards to throwing the ball downfield with 320 yards. The costly interception late, not necessarily his fault, but he led the team down the field and the brink of winning a college football playoff game after big games against Michigan with 302 yards and 4 touchdowns, no picks. Wisconsin, 299, 3 touchdowns. Justin Fields, we know he's a tremendous, tremendous talent. He could see a huge rise, not necessarily statistically, but in regards to progress as decision maker and leader in the Ohio State Ryan Day offense in 2020. Our top 5 quarterbacks in the Big Ten, there they are. Clifford at 5, Martinez at 4, Morgan 3, Penix 2, and Fields at number 1. A couple guys to keep an eye out for. Of course, Jack Cohn had a nice season in Wisconsin, supported by the running game of Jonathan Taylor and the offensive line that's always stellar. 70% completion percentage, 18 touchdowns, 5 picks. He will be pushed by Graham Mertz. May have protected his job by not having a spring practice in which Graham Mertz could have impressed. Brandon Peters, the Michigan transfer going to Illinois, had a decent season at 18 touchdowns, 8 picks. Unfortunately, he has a concussion history. Jack Plummer at Purdue trying to hold off Aiden O'Connell in West Lafayette. Had 3 of 7 games that he played throwing less than 50% completion percentage. Has to get better there. 11 TDs, 8 picks. Josh Jackson goes from a winning quarterback situation where he played very well, not elite level, but very well, top 15 to 25 quarterbacks in the nation, 25 touchdowns, 10 picks. With the Hokies, comes into Maryland, lights up Howard in game 1, 5 touchdowns. And then after that, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks the rest of the time. 47% completion percentage for Josh Jackson. Talia Tagovailoa, obviously a factor if he's eligible. Spencer Petras at Iowa takes over for Nathan Stanley. And the big battle at Michigan with Dylan McCaffrey and Joe Milton. McCaffrey seems to have the edge and will be the starter. Our top 5 quarterbacks right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Please like, comment below on where we possibly missed it and who you like in the Big Ten. And, of course, subscribe right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football.